In the spring of 2007, the McCann family embarked on a holiday to Praia da Luz, a picturesque resort town in Portugal's Algarve region. Known for its stunning beaches and tranquil atmosphere, Praia da Luz was the perfect destination for families seeking a peaceful retreat. Jerry and Kate McCann, both doctors from Rothley, Leicestershire, were joined by their 3 young children, Madeleine, nearly 4 years old, and her 2-year-old twin siblings, Sean and Amelie. The family had been eagerly anticipating this trip, a chance to unwind and spend quality time together away from their busy lives back home. The family, along with a group of friends, settled into a ground-floor apartment within a holiday complex, eager to enjoy the sun, sea, and each other's company. The complex was bustling with other vacationing families, all looking forward to a week of relaxation and fun. Little did they know that their idyllic getaway would soon transform into a nightmare, forever etching their names into the annals of true crime history. The serene sunsets and joyful moments captured in their vacation photos would soon be overshadowed by a sense of dread and uncertainty. Madeleine, with her bright blue eyes and infectious smile, was a bundle of energy. She was a curious and adventurous child, always eager to explore her surroundings and make new friends. She loved swimming, playing with her siblings, and exploring new places. The holiday provided her with ample opportunities to indulge in her favorite activities, and she quickly became a familiar face around the resort. Described by her parents as a confident and outgoing child, Madeleine was looking forward to her first family holiday abroad. She was thrilled by the prospect of new adventures and the chance to spend uninterrupted time with her family. The McCanns, like any other parents, were excited to create lasting memories with their children, unaware of the cruel twist of fate that awaited them. They spent their days building sandcastles on the beach, splashing in the pool, and enjoying the simple pleasures of family life. The holiday complex where the McCanns stayed offered various amenities, including restaurants, a pool, and a tennis court. It was designed to cater to families, providing a safe and enjoyable environment for both children and adults. The group of friends had fallen into a comfortable routine, spending their days soaking up the sun and enjoying leisurely meals together. The children played happily, forming bonds and friendships that would last beyond the holiday. In the evenings, while the children slept soundly in their rooms, the adults would dine at the complex's tapas restaurant, located just a short walk from their apartment. This arrangement allowed the parents to enjoy some much-needed adult time while still being close enough to check on their children regularly. This seemingly ordinary detail would become a focal point in the investigation into Madeleine's disappearance, raising questions about the parents' actions and the level of supervision provided to the children. The proximity of the restaurant to the apartment and the frequency of the checks would be scrutinized in the days and months that followed, as the world watched in shock and sympathy. On the evening of May 3, 2007, the McCanns joined their friends for dinner at the Tapas restaurant, a cozy spot they frequented during their holiday in Praia da Luz, Portugal. The group, known as the Tapas 7, enjoyed their meal and conversation, unaware of the impending tragedy. The McCanns had left their 3 children asleep in their ground-floor apartment, just a short walk away from the restaurant. They believed the arrangement was safe, as they had done this several times before without incident. To ensure their children's safety, the group had established a system where they would take turns checking on the children throughout the evening. Every half hour, one of the parents would quietly slip away from the table to check on the sleeping kids. At approximately 9:05 p.m., Kate McCann went to check on Madeleine and her siblings. She walked the familiar path back to the apartment, expecting to find her children peacefully asleep. To her horror, she discovered that Madeleine was missing. The bed where her daughter should have been was empty, and a sense of dread immediately filled her heart. The bedroom window was open, and the shutters were raised, suggesting that someone had entered the room from outside. This realization sent chills down Kate's spine. Panic and disbelief washed over Kate as the gravity of the situation sunk in. Her mind raced with questions and fears about what could have happened to her little girl. Her daughter was gone. Kate rushed back to the restaurant, frantic and distraught, screaming that Madeleine had been taken. Her cries for help echoed through the night, shattering the calm of the evening. The alarm was immediately raised and a chaotic search ensued. Friends, family, and fellow holidaymakers sprang into action, their hearts pounding with urgency. The alarm was immediately raised and a chaotic search ensued. Friends, family, and fellow holidaymakers sprang into action, their hearts pounding with urgency. Guests and staff scoured the complex, desperately hoping to find any trace of the missing child. Every corner, every shadow was checked, but there was no sign of Madeleine. The local police were called, but the initial response was agonizingly slow. Precious minutes ticked by, each one feeling like an eternity to the frantic parents. Precious time was slipping away with each passing moment. The longer it took to mobilize a full search, the slimmer the chances of finding Madeleine became. As the search continued into the early hours, the gravity of the situation became increasingly apparent. The darkness of the night seemed to mirror the growing despair among the searchers. The McCanns, overwhelmed with fear and desperation, clung to the hope that their daughter would be found safe. They held each other tightly, drawing strength from their shared love and determination. However, as the hours turned into days, and the days into weeks, the hope began to dwindle. The initial flurry of activity gave way to a painful waiting game, with each passing day bringing more questions than answers. The disappearance of Madeleine McCann had become an international mystery, captivating the attention of millions around the world. News outlets across the globe covered the story, and the public followed every development with bated breath, hoping for a miracle that would reunite the McCann family. The initial investigation into Madeleine's disappearance was marred by inconsistencies and criticisms, fueling public scrutiny and casting doubt on the Portuguese authorities' handling of the case. The small resort town of Praia da Luz, usually a tranquil holiday destination, was suddenly thrust into the global spotlight. One of the most significant criticisms leveled at the police was their failure to secure the crime scene effectively. This lapse in protocol was seen as a critical error that could have far-reaching consequences. Crucial evidence may have been compromised due to the high volume of people allowed to enter and leave the McCann's apartment in the hours following Madeleine's disappearance. Friends, family, and even curious onlookers were able to walk through the scene, potentially disturbing vital clues. This oversight raised serious concerns about the integrity of the investigation from the outset. Experts in criminal investigations emphasize the importance of preserving the crime scene to ensure that no evidence is lost or contaminated. Furthermore, the language barrier posed a significant obstacle, hindering communication between the McCanns, their friends, and the Portuguese authorities. The lack of fluent translators meant that crucial information could have been lost or misunderstood. Misunderstandings and misinterpretations further complicated the already complex situation. The nuances of language and cultural differences added layers of difficulty to an already challenging investigation. The McCanns, already grappling with the unimaginable trauma of their daughter's disappearance, were thrust into a foreign legal system, adding to their distress and frustration. Navigating the unfamiliar legal procedures and protocols only added to their sense of helplessness. The Portuguese police's communication with the media also came under fire. Their handling of press conferences and public statements was criticized for being inconsistent and sometimes misleading. Leaked information, often contradictory or unsubstantiated, created a media frenzy, fueling speculation and hindering the investigation. The constant barrage of media reports made it difficult to separate fact from fiction. The McCanns found themselves at the center of a media storm, their every move scrutinized and analyzed. The intense public interest in the case meant that they had little privacy or respite from the relentless attention. The intense media scrutiny added immense pressure on the investigation, often diverting attention from the primary objective: finding Madeleine. The sensationalist coverage sometimes overshadowed the critical need for a focused and methodical search for the missing child. As the investigation progressed and with no significant leads emerging, the Portuguese police turned their attention toward the McCanns themselves. The decision to name Jerry and Kate McCann as arguidos formal suspects in their daughter's disappearance sparked outrage and disbelief among many. The couple vehemently denied any involvement in Madeleine's disappearance, maintaining their innocence throughout the ordeal. The McCann's status as suspects was based on a combination of factors, including alleged inconsistencies in their accounts of the night Madeleine disappeared, forensic evidence found in the rental car they had hired after Madeleine's disappearance, and the analysis of sniffer dogs that allegedly detected the scent of a cadaver in the apartment and the rental car. However, much of the evidence presented against the McCanns was later found to be unreliable or inconclusive. The decision to name the McCanns as suspects had far-reaching consequences. It shifted public opinion, with some questioning their innocence, and accusing them of being involved in their daughter's disappearance. The intense media scrutiny intensified, subjecting the couple to relentless public scrutiny and judgment. The McCanns, already devastated by the loss of their daughter, now faced the added burden of defending themselves against accusations and suspicion. The disappearance of Madeleine McCann captivated the world's attention, becoming one of the most widely reported missing person cases in history. The media's insatiable appetite for updates and developments fueled a frenzy of coverage, propelling the case into the global spotlight. Newspapers, television channels, and online platforms dedicated extensive resources to covering the story, providing minute-by-minute updates and analysis. The media's coverage of the case was not without its criticisms. Some argued that the intense focus on the McCanns, particularly after they were named as suspects, was intrusive and unfair. Others questioned the ethics of publishing unsubstantiated rumors and speculation, which could potentially jeopardize the investigation and cause further distress to the McCann family. Despite the criticisms, the media's involvement also played a crucial role in raising awareness about Madeleine's disappearance. The widespread coverage helped to keep the case in the public eye, ensuring that it did not fade from memory. The constant reminders and appeals for information contributed to numerous tips and leads being submitted to the authorities, some of which proved valuable to the investigation.